Okay, hi, good night. Well, it's about 9 o'clock here. Oh, wow, it's 10. 10 o'clock in the night. I'm sure in Jamaica it would be like a 10, 8 o'clock in the morning. So I'm here tonight to encourage you guys. What I like to talk to you today about is a special thing about life, what life has to offer, and the process of which life takes you. You know, the distance is like a distance runner. He runs around the field about 6 times or 5 times, but his goal is to reach the end. You know, he doesn't know how long he will run for, but at the same time he knows that he must finish the race. So if you know that you have to finish the race, then you are going to continue the journey, and there is a prize, and out of all the runners that are running, you must be placed. And in your head you want to be positive, to say that I'm running to come first, I'm running to succeed, I'm running to take off like a plane, you know. So your aim going into the Olympics, Usain, Asafa, all those Jamaican athletes, and so we are going there to become a winner, you know. But only one will win. But everyone has a positive mind. Everyone has a mind to finish the race and to win the race. But not everyone can win, you know. So it's the mindset. And at the end of the race, whether you came out victorious or whether you came out, you were last, you know, or second or third, or you didn't get a medal at all, whatever the outcome is in that race, you have to remember that no matter what, I must cross the finish line. You know, so that's my life tonight. My life is like a long distance race. And when it seems so long, it seems as if, when will it end? You know, there are times in my life that I feel like, I need this to end now. When is the good stuff is going to start? When the good stuff will start? It's kind of crazy sometimes. So right now my life wasn't perfect at a young age, right? When I first started out as a child, what was it like going to basic school? What was it like going to primary school? What was it like going to high school and college and university? It wasn't easy because my family was, you know, so-called deemed very poor. You know, we live in the inner city, we call ghetto in Jamaica. I came from Maxwell Avenue, Sunlight Street, near Reman Jungle, and I travel back and forth in the summer to my father in Seaview Garden. So the inner city stuff, we know it, we understand what it is, we know how people live, but somehow my family, my mom and all the family members on her side, we were so close to God. You know, we go to church and stuff. So though we live in the inner city, it's like we weren't living in the inner city, because the mind, you know. So you live in the inner city, but your mind has to change. You have to want something out of life. And so that's my family's personality. We want something out of life, we have to go and get it, you know. So being at basic school, it was very bad. My mom usually make our bags. You know, people usually buy those nice bags downtown when back to school. But my mother usually buy cloth materials and sew the bag for us. You know, when we used to go to school at basic school, we look at children eating, sucking suck. You know, those who remember the days, back in the days, suck, the red one, my favorite was the red. But somehow we could not afford to buy suck. So my mother used to mix the little sugar and water, sugar and water, which is like lemonade for the Americans and the Canadians, and the Japanese, it's lemonade. But in Jamaica, we call it sugar and water. We never usually know what syrup is and those stuff. So those are luxury foods. So my mother usually made the little sandwich, and well, not even sandwich. We didn't have that time to do that. So she made the little cornmeal porridge, and which we grew up to love cornmeal porridge and banana porridge now. But when I went to basic school, we had that stuff and bun and milk. And Tarrant Primary, I used to went to Tarrant Primary, and we usually get bun and milk and the free lunch. If no free lunch, we look forward to the porridge with whole heap of milk. I think that's where I got it from. I love porridge with milk. If it don't look white, I don't want it. It have a white. You understand what I'm saying? So anyway, primary school was a bit, the same poor, family background. But for me, my life was kind of different because my sisters and brothers were very bright students. And when I reached first grade, grade 1, I was very bright. My teachers usually take my books all around the grade 1 block and show the teachers. But when I reached grade 2, which is second grade for most countries, I said, oh my God, something just went. My mother was saying something went wrong. What happened to you? And throughout from grade 2, which was like age 7, I was like down the hill from a spiral, come from the top going down to the bottom and up to high school. My God, high school was the worst. I was teased by the color of my uniform because I went to Queens High School. It was horrible. During primary school, I did not pass my common entrance, and those days, common entrance now is like CXE. I mean, not CXE, I mean GSAT. And so we had two chances to pass the common entrance. I didn't pass it in grade 5. I didn't pass it in grade 6 either. But I was a good reader because I remember the teacher told me in grade 6 once that you are a very good reader. The way my mother taught me to hold the book with my fingers, one finger, the smaller finger and the big finger, and hold it very lovely and put it away from my face. I remember that vividly. And I did that, and I remember getting a good mark for reading. That's all I could remember for grade 6. But I failed common entrance. And so I had to go to the feeder school, which was Tarrant Secondary, which is Big Tarrant. But because my brother was working at Queens High School, I got a transfer there. And that was a disaster. So I was picking up at Tarrant Secondary, but when I went to high school at Queens, there were a lot of rich people, coming in their cars. There are persons who took the bus, but somehow in my head, I thought that everyone was well off more than I was, because I was living in the ghetto. People were living in Portmore. People were living in the upper class place and stuff. But God has made something out of me today, because not having any education in primary school, going into high school with nothing, because most of the things that you did in common entrance or GSAT was what you go in first form and second form with, and I had no idea of what they were doing. I went in the class and the teacher just called on me sudden. I was just standing at the blackboard like, what the tickens did this woman call me up here for? I don't know what she called me up here, because I don't know what to do. And then she was my brother's friend. And so I was saying, oh my God, she's going to tell my brother what happened today. So I know, trust me, God knows the future. He holds the future in his hands. So I just want to encourage those who are out there who feel like they can't do anything and they are worse off than anyone else, and things are not going right. Things are just not going how they want it to go. I want to encourage you today that, listen, when you have a plan, and when God has a plan for your life, it will never change. No matter how long it takes, no matter how long you're in the race for, the race is not for the swift, but for those who endure to the end. So even though those persons came last, Asafa did not run, didn't come third or fourth when he run in some of his race years back. But what happened? He came out to the end, so his name is still alive. So here I am. I did not come